continue to ask Jesus.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today on this month's episode of the Transit Talk. I'm your host, Roger Marenco.
And I'm Pete Wilson. And right next to me, I'm so excited. This is Fantasy. She's my classmate.
Hi guys.
Introduce yourself. Who are
I'm
you?
Fantasy Wilson out of Flynn Division 4435.
Going to?
Going to Green. Isn't that where the F line is? Green.
Woo-hoo.
Next month.
All right.
Yay! I am Sharnetta Taylor, Flynn Division. Yeah.
Awesome.
Flynn Division, yeah.
I'm Alicia Dangerfield. I'm also at Flynn, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying on the 8.
Yes, she
Awesome.
is.
Thank you to everyone for joining us today on this very special episode of the Transit Talk titled Mom, M-O-M, Mothers on Muni. The spring edition of 2017, which just came out a few months ago, of our newsletter, focuses in on women in the workforce. So to sort of piggyback off of that, we decided to do an episode titled Mom, M-O-M, Mothers on Muni, and sort of some of the issues, obstacles that they face here at Muni at our job sites, whether they are similar to men's issues or somewhat different. So without any other further explanations, I'd like to ask any of our panelists, what do you see as some of the issues here at Muni that you face either as a female operator, as a mother, as a woman in general on the workforce here at Muni? Whether it's in regards to, let's talk about restroom situations.
There you go.
Restroom situations.
The restrooms, I would like them to work. The urinals should work. They should not have tape and plastic bags on them. And they should have toilet paper in them too. And yeah, I just would like for them to work in, really the urinals, because there's a lot of stuff on the floor. You come in, you can slip and fall. You get injured in there, slipping on Pete. So y'all need to fix that. They need to have somebody come in here and clean those.
You know, I don't even know if they actually do clean them or not.
You have to call. I've had to call. Well, on 48th, you have to call.
What? Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I've called like, hey, it's a little slippery in there. Y'all need to.
It was.
Somebody
I mean,
out.
it seems common sense just to have them cleaned once a
I'm
month.
like, hey. Y'all
No,
gotta
but you're on the 48. Where's the 48?
48th
Quintara?
and Point Longos on the 38R. You know, you get to the bottom,
yeah.
and then, one time it was somebody like living in there, so they
Wow,
locked the door.
That's nasty.
interesting.
Yeah.
So you would like the urinals to work
Well, yeah, and
because, as one driver put it, some men have...
aim issues.
There you
So we need that to work, and if it doesn't work, pee in the toilet. You know.
I feel that they need to be cleaned more often, also working order too, because you go in there 6 in the morning, it's not clean. It's like
Stinking.
right. So they need to be cleaned at least twice a day, all of them.
It's a huge health hazard.
Right.
You know what they did? They put those bathrooms out there for the 38 and the one California out at 32nd and Geary. They put 4 bathrooms, and they're all unisex and not one urinal. And all. Have y'all been out there?
No.
You know what I'm talking about? Right there at George Washington High School. There's 4 bathrooms now
yeah.
at 38 and the one. Yeah, 32nd, 33rd. And there's not one urinal in them, and they're all... Why don't they make some male and some female?
So those are unisex restrooms.
They're all
Yeah.
unisex, yeah.
Okay, so one of the solutions.
No, and no urinals.
No urinals. One
Yeah,
of the
right.
solutions that the ladies were talking about was if these are going to be unisex restrooms, then they have to have urinals
Yeah.
for the men.
Well, how about 1 or 2 for females, 1 for males only, and then maybe a unisex for those who are a little more courageous.
Feasible solutions
Yes.
to try and ameliorate these problems.
Right.
Fantasy-
mess.
Major issues at Muni.
Well, I want to say shout out to the person that cleaned that bathroom on the 8 line, feeling look, because I've
Yeah.
never seen a problem with that bathroom.
Right.
Now, 48, that's a whole different story. You walking on pee, you just smell it all the time. I
And
think
the
even
heater
if
on.
they, right, that make it even worse. The heater is on.
Yeah.
Where are you talking about?
48th and Point Low, they turn the heater
Oh,
on.
my
So you
gosh,
walk in there.
I forgot about
sweating.
But
I
so
don't
I've
even
never
go to
used
the
the
Muni
female group
restrooms,
once.
to be honest with you. I befriend coffee shops and all that kind of stuff, owners of these stores that surround our terminals, and I go to their restroom.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to.
And I take a 702.
There's a place at 33rd, you know, the coffee shop or whatever,
Right.
and they let you use it if you buy coffee. You should not have to buy coffee
pay
or
them,
tea,
right?
which I do sometimes, but you shouldn't have to buy it to use the restroom.
You're
But my
right.
question about the feeding and loop, because when I used to drive the 8X out of Flan, they weren't built yet. They were porta potties out there. Is it male and female? There's two of them, right?
It's,
Yeah.
No.
They're
They're
unisex or they're
separate.
separate?
it's separate.
Separate.
Oh,
One,
okay.
one male and female.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's move on to this other issue, which is a very popular / unfortunate issue that is occurring throughout the entire fleet, called sick abuse. I'd like to start this one off with Fantasy, just because you told us that you've been on the sick abuse for how long now?
Oh. I've been on sick leave abuse for 3 years now. Every time my expiration date comes up, I somehow get a letter and I need to go visit my superintendent, and she brings back something from the whole past fiscal year and then says, you have another 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, whatever they decide to give me. And it's just been like that for the last 3 years. And no one has helped me out to get my name off this list.
Your union rep hasn't helped you out?
No comment.
Well, what is it? It's
I'm
over
like,
12 or 13
Anthony,
days.
you know you cool, but you ain't helped me, dude. You know that.
Sharnetta, what do you have to say about sick abuse?
Nothing. No. Not too much. Not too much. I've been on the list also. They want you to bring back a doctor's excuse, which I'm okay with because I go to the doctor. You know, it's not a problem for me. But they do try to keep you on there a long period of time, so that is a problem. And I feel like they shouldn't, let you off when it's time for you to get off the sick abuse.
So
Period.
we know that that's a problem, right? Well, let me ask you, Alicia, about sick abuse.
I'm on it. Been on it a year. Brings my notes, and I don't understand it. I don't know if it's 12, 15 days, what you supposed to do with it, because if I'm sick for a week, my kid gets sick for a week, I'm back on sick abuse, so it don't make too much sense to me. But I didn't sign the paper when I went in. They told me I was on sick abuse, but I do bring a note when they ask, and
And you have the hours, right?
yeah, of course.
Right.
Absolutely.
Some operators say that they have 50, 60, 70 hours of sick time, yet they can't use it. Some operators say that they have 100, 200 hours of vacation time, but they can't even use it. But that's a topic for a different discussion. So what would you offer as a feasible solution to this, quote, sick abuse policy?
So Roger, so you and I were at a union meeting, I think it was 2 meetings ago, and our president, the president of the union, brought up, there is no sick abuse policy. There is no policy. And he talked about how some reps have gone in and spoken up and gotten people off of this. So if it's true that there is no sick abuse policy and that the union actually fought it and won, that information should be given to each operator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These ladies went in there and they hadn't heard that information before.
Right.
Whether it was Scott Ashley before or Anthony before or whoever your rep is, they should be active in it should be posted on the union board at Flynn and at any other barn. There is no sick abuse, folks. Don't worry about it if you're sick, because that pamphlet that they gave us when we were hired, it said you could, if you need to take care of your child, if you're sick, if you have a doctor's appointment, what are you supposed to get a note from your dentist and said your teeth were fixed? I mean, my superintendent told me that if my child's sick, my wife should take care of her because I make more money than my wife. It does not say that anywhere I've ever seen in the city of San Francisco's rules. Whoever makes more money has to come to work.
Right.
Do you ladies see it as more difficult in terms of trying to take time off, taking care of the kids, the household issues, items when a child gets sick? Do you feel that it's a lot more difficult for you to take time off?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if you guys know about this official notice from the City and County of San Francisco. It's called the San Francisco Family Friendly Workplace Ordinance. I'm just going to quote to you a few sentences here. It says, employers must allow any employee flexible or predictable working arrangement to assist with caregiving responsibilities for child or children under the age of 18, a person or persons with serious health condition in a family relationship with the employer, or a parent of the employee age 65 or older. Put it in colloquial terms, if you need time off, you're going to get the time off. Period. An employer's failure to follow this procedure or an employer's denial of an employee's rights under the law shall constitute a violation. So if you are sick, I'd recommend that you take some time off. If your children, family are in need, you need to, family comes first. Put it like that. So have you guys ever seen this notice before? No?
No.
Okay. Many operators out there on the force have not seen this either, so we're going to put this up on the screen as a still shot for you guys to check out, and there's a little bit of more information in there in terms of who to contact. It's the City's Office of Labor Standards Enforcement Division, so we'll put that up there.
We might be able to find a link so they can
Right.
be able to find that as well.
We'll put that up there.
I'm a little confused that somebody said that they got the time off to take care of somebody and that the union said no. Are we going to talk about that, or are we just brushing over that?
It'll be up to her if she wants to talk about it. If not, then we'll just move on.
All right.
Moving on to daycare,
Talking about,
child daycare. I was in talking to many women, mothers here on the force. A lot of them told me that it's a big problem in terms of daycare, taking care of their kids and stuff. So what do you guys do if and when you don't have a babysitter? What do you guys do?
I've actually had to take off.
You've had to take off.
I've had to take off.
Okay.
You know, my childcare worker got sick. I had no other option but to take off. So that is a problem, you know, because sometimes things come up at the last minute and no one's to watch the baby. So you can't bring the baby to work with you. So you have to take off.
Now, I've heard and I've actually seen some operators bring their kids to work. And I believe one of you was telling me earlier that you don't even qualify for reduced childcare. Is that Fantasy? You want to talk a little bit about that?
Right. We are considered to be, I guess, extremely high income because they go on our gross amount and not our net. And as everyone knows, within Muni, we get over $1,000 taken out of every paycheck. So we're not bringing home what they're looking at. So we qualify for absolutely nothing. No programs, no assistance, nothing. So everything comes out of our pocket. Rent, transportation, childcare, food, you name it. Car, insurance, just everything. So imagine after all our bills are paid, what money is left for childcare. I mean, honestly, we can't afford it.
Right. So going off of that, you just mentioned something very interesting. So you said that they base your salary off of gross and not net, correct?
Right.
So a feasible solution towards that problem might be to start focusing in or classify you under what you actually bring home, under net as opposed to gross. Is that correct?
Correct. It would, yeah.
Well, Roger, just want to point out, we did talk about pensions before. Let's say an operator brings in $80,000 a year. Their pension would be, the pension contribution would be around $8,000, $7,000 to $8,000 or something like that. So that's a major suck off of that. You know what I'm saying? From your gross. There's the medical that they're going to take out. There's the pension contribution. There's your union dues. There's all Social Security, taxes. There's a lot of things.
And there's a lot of other stuff that we don't even know what it actually is that's taken from our paychecks.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, it's only initials on there. And you if you don't do your research, you really don't know who's taking what.
Unfortunately, it's not as easy as you would like to think. Roger and I went down to payroll a few times and have asked them to give us something in writing that explains it all out, and they won't do that. We also went down to the pension people a few times and asked for things in writing, and they won't do that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Everything that we do here with the Transit Talk is to try and educate and inform our general membership to the best of our possibilities. So once again, just thank you to all of you for being here and just moving forward in terms of trying to bring more operators on board with the movement that we have going. So means a lot. We can't do it by ourselves, so thank you for that. Alicia, you were talking about a possible solution in terms of child daycare because of the fact that it's extremely expensive. I think you were mentioning operators making a donation. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, operators making a donation of $20, maybe creating a fund for operators to donate to and get something going as far as child care, however they could get that going, get a stipend. There's a lot of stuff that go on in the city, and you get grants and all types of things, and we need a grant writer. I'm sure we got a few within Muni, within the operators, to get that going, because child care is hard, especially if you got to be there at 7 in the morning, and your moms can't take them, and you got to bundle your boy up and put him on the bus with you. So that would be awesome if we could come up with an idea and donate money and have something where we could take our kids, and it's a place that we trust and it's safe.
I'm not very good with math. I'm not a math guy. However, if you were to take, let's just take a simple number, 1,000 operators donating $20 a month. That's $20,000 a month right there. That can go towards this 24-hour child daycare service. I mean, just think of how far that would go. And I think that we have a lot of good people out here on the force that would be willing to make that small sacrifice of a $20 donation on a monthly basis that would benefit countless people, families, children. I mean, just think of how far that could go. We have so many operators on here. It's time to start bringing these ideas at least to the table so that we can at least begin talking about these issues. Would you 3 moms be willing to donate $20 a month to go towards this type of fund?
Yes.
I would.
Roger, I do want to point out that one time a year, you guys have probably seen this, where they come around and the city employees are encouraged to donate to different charities. Remember that? Some of them will come and they'll sit there. Well, why are we going to donate to some other charity to help out somebody else? I mean, I'm not saying don't help out charities, but hey, why don't we set up our own charity? Right. And we got the city workers sitting there going, hey, yeah, we can give some money to UNICEF and blah, blah, blah. Well, I love UNICEF, but right now my $20 is going to go to childcare for my fellow workers. Right. And I do want to point out, we have talked about flex spending before. So flex spending is for medical issues. Like I take out, I don't know, like $20, $30 a paycheck, and then I can pay for my medical issues for me and my kids and my wife. But there's also flex spending for childcare. So up to, I believe, $5,000 a month, or excuse me, $5,000 a year that you can take out of your paycheck, and then when you do pay for childcare, it's pre-tax, so you do save a little bit of money that way. Something to have.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Excellent. Anything else that you guys want to say in regards to childcare? No? Let's move on to another issue in this case. I don't have it written down here, but I just thought about it just now. Women operators, female operators, mother operators, I guess just on a day-to-day basis in terms of the attitude that you guys receive here from the general public, from, I don't know, coworkers, from superior officers, supervisors, any threats, harassment, intimidation. I mean, how do you guys feel in regards to that? Because the way that I kind of see it is if a male operator gets assaulted or threatened or harassed or intimidated, I feel that a woman probably suffers it twice as bad. What do you think? Is that a fair statement to make, or am I overreaching here?
It's a fair statement. It's a fair statement. I truly believe we are treated different because we are women, especially by passengers on the bus and some of our male co-workers. Mm-hmm. I just feel like you have to hold your own. You know, when you're driving that bus, you're responsible for yourself as well as the passengers. So you just kind of got to hold your own and treat every situation different, you know, and handle it to the best of your ability.
What about you, Alicia?
I agree with her. You know, you have to hold your own, and you know, I smile. I ain't do all that. You get loud, I get loud back. Usually when I get loud, I don't have no more problems. But when as far as like the passenger, no, the operators, some of the male operators, the older ones, they can be a little rude sometimes. So you know, you have to be rude back, and you know, then you get understanding. But I do think we get treated a little differently. I've had like males come on and rub my hands, and when they take the transfer and all, so I have to wear some gloves. You got to think. But you didn't put your transfers on the fare box so they don't touch you. But I've had people try to rub my shoulder. You got to get quick with the lean. So yeah, we do. we go through a lot.
Right.
People come through your window and want to talk to you
Oh
and
my goodness.
pass your numbers and all kind of crazy stuff. So yes, we are.
Fantasy, what do you got to say about that?
That was just bringing me back to some stuff I had to experience on them lines. But I say the remedy for that is you do have to hold your own, and you teach people how to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
So, they could come at you however they want to. It's your reaction that's going to, basically matter on how they're going to come at you the next time. But, you get a few stubborn people that, want to keep pushing your buttons, and then you got to get out, get all out your character. But, I agree with these beautiful ladies over here.
Pete?
Well, I just wanted to say something that there's some kids back there, and we're, oh my gosh, they're making sounds, but it's great because it illustrates the fact that a couple of you brought your children here because of, we got to take care of our kids. I'm lucky enough that my wife's got my kids, and she's taking care of them right now. But we're hearing sound in the background. We don't usually have children in the background. But, hey, somebody's got to watch them. We're going to put them on a Muni bus because they don't have to take care for them. So it's great to have them here.
Well, bringing us to another point of discussion here, I was wanted to ask the moms that joined us today if you guys know or knew that there are going to be elections that are going to be held at the end of the year, 2017. And I can't think at the moment if there are any female representatives in our local union. I can't think of any at the moment. So I wanted to ask any of you if you might think of consider running for office just to get female representation on the board.
Point of information, Roger, our secretary is a female appointed by Eric Williams.
The secretary appointed by the president.
Yes.
Okay.
The secretary on the board, she's from the health department.
Okay.
So there is, yes.
Any others?
When I was at Flynn, there was a female, she's still at Flynn, she was a secretary. It would be nice to have a chair, though. Or
That's what I was referring to. Probably a chairperson or a vice chairperson or anything.
Treasurer, secretary,
yeah.
president.
Have you guys considered running for office, maybe, or you might know anybody, any female operators, any mother operators out there on the force that might want to consider running for office? Have women's voices heard?
I've thought about it, but to be honest with you, I don't know if my time will allow me to make a commitment.
Yeah, that's the hard.
But I do know that I have a voice to be heard.
Absolutely. I mean, here we are, talking about all the many different issues. We all know what the problems are, and many of us have great solutions to trying to ameliorate these problems. How do we bring it to the table?
Well, there was a women's committee before.
What?
There was a women's committee. Lena Galloway was the co-chair and was our president because he's the chair of all committees. Yeah, and there was not a lot of information about this women's committee that though got disseminated to the masses.
That was probably before my time, but
No, it actually wasn't.
Really?
So my point is, you were here and you don't know about it because they didn't share the information.
Interesting.
The next time you talk to her, ask her about that.
I think it might also
Just like
be.
2 years ago.
Yeah, actually, I think it also might be great to have a committee, a women's committee, at all the different stations. What do you guys think about that? Sort of
I
like
think
a
so.
like a support group, or
I agree with that.
Right.
I think that's something we need to do.
many different possible solutions, right? And it's at least important to bring it out to the table, out in the open. Anything else?
About that or about
Yeah.
anything? Because we haven't talked about family bonding yet.
Well, we're running short on time, so let's get to that one. That one will be our final point of discussion.
Okay, no, this is very important. Now, the four of us have children. Roger's expecting?
I'm in the process of
Oh,
making.
all right. But no, it's
Fun
so
times.
important.
All right.
It's so important. And working in San Francisco does have
We didn't need to know that. That's your business. In that bedroom at home.
You know, Roger, you're a wicker flame. Anyway. So this is not just for women, it's also for men as well. Family bonding, the state of California and the city and county of San Francisco does support family bonding time when you can take time off of work and get paid. Now, I didn't do it when I was working for the city and county of San Francisco. I did it when I was working for a private tour company. But I took 7 weeks off, and the state of California paid me for 6. It wasn't a huge amount. It's kind of like the same amount you get on unemployment, but it's pretty nice. And I mean, it's not. I say it's for men too. But if my wife is at home with a newborn, it helps her a lot. That the man, or even 2 women if they're partners, or 2 men. Well, 2 men wouldn't have birthed one, but but I mean, a woman who births a child has gone through a lot, and your body changes chemically, and it's nice to have the support of your partner home with you, and it's nice for you to be able to spend more time. So talk to your union rep, talk to Human Resources about the family bonding available through the city and county of San Francisco and the state, because I think it's extremely important. I didn't do it with my first child, and I didn't know about it. But my second child, I mean, I stayed home from work for 7 weeks. That was awesome. You imagine 7 weeks off?
Wow.
Right.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Find out the info and start making them babies.
Hey, for real, might need to have one.
With the state of California, you have up to a year after the child was born. But there are two young operators at Presidio. One that had his child just not too long ago, and the other one just had one. And I'm like, take your time off now. He's like, well, I'm waiting for the sign up and this and that. Take your time off.
Good to know.
Cool.
Good to know. Excellent. Well, in these last few minutes, I'd like to offer everybody just 30 seconds. Any last comments, thoughts, suggestions, ideas? Let's start with Alicia. 30 seconds.
Can we get them bathrooms clean? The floor. I got a real issue with that. The slipper and slide when you get in there, you in a rush, you gotta get back on your couch. I need them floors clean. It's nasty in here. With the heat on. I gotta turn the heat off.
Oh my God.
Hey.
Indeed. Jarnetta.
No, just everybody be safe out there, and everybody just treat each and every operator with love and respect. That's all. We are all family, so we gotta come together and be as one. Unite.
Absolutely.
That was a good one. She took the words right out my mouth. The other thing, aside from what Sharnetta just said, when we passing each other, in passing, we don't gotta mug each other. Just chill, happy. We all smiles and stuff with our sunglasses on, our hats and everything else. So let's all get on board and be happy as a big happy family.
Agreed. Pete, 30 seconds.
That's funny you said that, because I remember when I was at Petro, I'd wave to drivers from like Presidio when I passed 22, 24, or whatever, and I wouldn't get a lot of wave back. And then I went over to Presidio, and the Petro drivers kind of, unless they, oh, hey, oh yeah, I know you. Feel free. I mean, you wave it to me, but like, it'd be nice. Just wave to people, say hello.
Yeah.
But
Indeed.
I don't know if we need an educational video to show men how to use that toilet on the wall, because some men seem to prefer to, anyway.
Pee on the seat.
Here, let's set a goal that we're going to get those bathrooms out at 32nd, which is for the Flynn drivers for the 38 and the 1 drivers from Presidio. There's 4 of them. Make 2 of them women, 1 of them men, and 1 of them roll the dice.
Great suggestion, Pete. Thank you very much for that. Well, you guys, our time has come to an end. Remember that without you, we cannot move forward. Without you, we cannot move forward. So I encourage everybody to get involved. You can get involved in many different ways. You can make a donation. You can donate your time by joining us at our monthly general membership assemblies. You can donate your energy by helping us pass out educational information out in the streets. You can donate your intellect by joining us here at one of our future panels of the Transit Talk. You can make a monetary donation. Keep in mind that for a monetary donation, you will receive one of our shirts. And before signing off, I'd like to mention that Phu Trong from Flynn Station has recently published his book, so please support him by picking up a copy over at Flynn Station from our receiver, Miss Deborah. And it's time for us to stop fighting against each other and start helping each other. So please, swing by Flynn Station, speak with our receiver, Deborah, get yourself a copy of the book. It's been published.
You ready? Yeah. All right. Once again, brothers and sisters out there, and in YouTube land, thank you for tuning in, and I want to thank these ladies once again because they gave up their time, and they are mothers and have children, and some children like to go to Giants games, and you guys like to go to Giants games, so I'm offering them some tickets to a Giants game. They're in section 140, row 2 in the bleachers. We love them. We don't get to them as much as we used to, but we love them. And go Giants. And I'd like to offer a couple tickets to a viewer out there. We've got 3 questions for you about the Transit Talk, about tonight's episode, and 2 other episodes. For those of you who've been watching, boom, the first person who answers this and sends it into Roger's our email at transittalk@gmail.com will get 2 free tickets to a Giants game.
Come up.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Be safe out there, you guys.
All right, thank you.
Awesome.